Michigan isn't the only place where workers are getting a raw deal. Twinkie maker Hostess continues to screw over its workers. The company is in the process of complete liquidation, and 18,000 unionized workers are set to lose their jobs. More troubling, they could lose their pensions that they've paid for. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, Hostess's CEO, Gregory Rayburn, essentially admitted that his company stole employee pension money and put it towards CEO and senior executive pay. While this isn't technically illegal, it's another sleazy theft by Hostess executives who paid themselves quite handsomely, thank you very much, while running their company into the ground. Just last month, a judge agreed to let Hostess executives suck another $1.8 million out of the bankrupt company to pay more bonuses to their CEO and their senior executives. If there's no way to recover the money for the Hostess pension plans for workers, then we, the taxpayers, through the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation, we're the ones who get stuck with the bill, so that the workers have at least some retirement from the money that they paid in. Hostess shows us clearly what Bain-style predatory capitalism is all about. Big bucks for the very few rich executives, layoffs and poverty for the workers in their communities. And don't mourn the loss of Hostess brands. Oh, what will I do without my Twinkies? They will be back. The company is currently negotiating with over 100 potential buyers right now to bring Twinkie and Wonder Bread and Ding Dongs back into the marketplace. The Hostess story really has nothing to do with the unions. It has everything to do with the Enronization and the Bainization of the American economy. In classic Enron style, back in 2005, Hostess sent out a letter saying they had a very, very profitable quarter. Stock jumped up. CEO Charles Sullivan and many of the senior executives sold chunks of their stock. Nice profit. CEO and senior executives were making out big, and the workers were making a decent living. At that time, one of the Hostess workers, Mike Hummel, blogging as Blue Barnstormer over at Daily Kos, noted that he was making 48 grand a year, a bit over the U.S. median income, and had insurance and a pension. Then a few weeks later, in 2005, came the letter saying that, oops, all that profit, it was really just an accounting error. The company's actually in deep trouble. Although the CEO and the top guys had all made a nice killing selling the stock when it was high, and by the way, paying a maximum income tax on it of 15% because they used that capital gains loophole that Mitt Romney used to become a millionaire, they now wanted the workers to take a big pay cut. Hummel notes that the oops letter became the justification for asking the workers to take a pay cut, which they ultimately agreed to, and his pay dropped from 48 grand a year in 2005 to $38,000 a year last year. But every year, $3 an hour of his compensation showed up in the workers' pension fund instead of his paycheck. Year after year after year. That's how it's supposed to be. And with 18,000 plus workers, that's millions and millions of dollars. Dollars that the workers had essentially paid in at the rate of $3 an hour. Then came the Bain-style takedown. In order to strip the company down to its individual brands and sell them off piece by piece, Hostess needed to bust the union. The union said, nah, not so much. So the company went to bankruptcy court, a method that Bain and other vulture capitalists often use to kill off unions. In the meantime, the CEO and senior executives were paying themselves handsome salaries and big bonuses. And where was that money coming from? On August 12th of 2011, the employees got a letter that said that the company was going to, quote, temporarily suspend payments to its pension funds. That would be that $3 an hour that this worker had negotiated as part of his compensation. Instead of paying it to him by putting it into his pension fund, now the company said they were going to put it in later. As the letter said, I want to be clear that this temporary suspension of payments to the pension fund will not affect your pension benefits. Workers believed management, kept on working. But it turned out, as we learned from that interview in today's Wall Street Journal, that the senior management wasn't just borrowing the pension funds. They were using them to fund ongoing operations, including big paychecks for the fat cats. Hostess CEO Gregory Rayburn, the current CEO, wanted to make it clear that he wasn't around when that particular thing happened. Whatever the circumstances were, he told the Wall Street Journal, whatever those decisions were, I wasn't there. After all, Rayburn isn't a baker, he's a bankster. He's the owner of Kobe Partners, a company that tells corporations how to restructure. Think Mitt Romney. And he's going to make out very well on all this. The bankruptcy court just okayed $1.8 million in Christmas bonuses for the new fat cats at Hostess. Here's the incredible irony to all this. If you borrow money to pay for your or your kid's education, you can't get rid of that debt through bankruptcy. That was one of the great reforms of the bankruptcy laws during the Bush era. But if you're a CEO or a buyout bankster and you borrow money from your employee's pension fund to be able to cover your own paycheck and million-dollar bonuses, and then take your company into bankruptcy, neither you nor the company have to pay those employees back even a single penny. Part of their pension is picked up by we, the taxpayers, and the rest, it's just lost.